So, just got finished watching the latest episode of Twin Peaks, Part 8. Now, we're not going to get another part for 2 weeks. So, this episode, you know what? Almost nothing happened, but I think everything happened in this episode. So, I'm going to... This episode was kind of all over the place, so I'm going to just jump around a lot. So I hope you guys can stay with me. There's a lot going through my brain right now. Like, I just finished watching it. So anything that's coming at you is from the first viewing almost 5 minutes after. So bear with me. So probably one of the bigger things that happened in the episode in terms of the actual, linear plot is that Ray shoots the doppelganger. He shoots Doppelcooper. And then there's this just like weird ritual kind of scene where all the woodsmen, the sooted people, come and they dance around Ray and they're sort of digging out Doppelcooper's guts and smearing them on his face. And it's just like this really bizarre scene. And Ray is freaking out. And then you think Doppelcooper's dead, and they pull out this sort of bubble, this like sphere with Bob in it, he looks kind of coy, obviously pulled from, an older episode of Twin Peaks. So after that, it kind of just goes on to this insane like 5 minute plus visual chaos. They have the nuclear bomb test in New Mexico. You see the mushroom cloud, and it just like that shot is so, I don't know, I felt that shot. It was such an intense shot of just the waves, and then all of a sudden that explosion, that slow motion, and then the zoom into the cloud. And once you get into that mushroom cloud, everything is chaos. Everything is all over the place. There's explosions, there's smoke, there's, like white noise and fuzz and just all this calamity. And I'm strapped to to figure out what exactly we saw today. There's just so much happening, and it'll probably take years to really digest and dissect what's going on, if there is really a purpose behind every, texture, every fire, every smoke, the stars, the red dots. What is it all? In my brain, my artistic brain, I want to say it's consciousness, it's the universe, it's humanity, it's chaos, it's intelligence, it's all these things. It's, destruction, it's birth, it's like every single possible existential and metaphysical thing you could think of, just shot by shot in these sort of, physical, visual kind of representations. At least that's how I perceive them. It's just like everything metaphysical and physical and mental all shown at the same time. And I felt almost winded after it all was over. It was really insane. At the end of all that crazy visual stuff, we get to this almost Azkaban-like place. It seems to be the same, I don't want to call it planet, the same space, we'll call it space, that Cooper was in when he fell into that sort of metal box-looking thing where he got out of, he went through the outlet, the electrical outlet. It seems to be that same wherever that is, because of the waves and sort of pink, purple awash. But we get to this sort of Azkaban-like thing, and then another beautiful building structure. And we enter this room with this woman just sitting there. And that a similar thing to what we saw on the top of the other structure from episode 3, I believe, that Cooper goes into inside this room. And it's very, I'm not sure what sort of time area this room represents. I'm a little strapped for that history stuff, knowing a certain style, but this definitely feels like it takes place sort of in the past. Just going by the black and white, which I feel like represents just past. I'm not sure how far back. I'm assuming maybe 40s-ish, possibly earlier. This also, I'm pretty sure, is the place that Cooper was in the first episode when he's talking to the giant. This seems to be the same place, the same kind of floor. The giant is wearing the same thing. And it's just like this beautiful, beautiful place. And the giant goes to this theater thing and he sees what we just saw. And then he sees the ghoul thing that looked like the thing that was in the box in the first episode. It kind of looked like that, but it was spewing out all this foam-like stuff. And Bob was in it too, and he saw Bob, and I'm not sure what occurred, but it feels like he gave birth. I use that term loosely. He floated, and he sort of, it seemed like his consciousness or his essence or something was pulled from him, and in the orb that came from it, the big glowing orb, there was Laura Palmer's face, which fell to the woman, and she kissed and sent it off in this really crazy, almost Dr. Seuss looking tube thing, and it went into the screen and onto the planet. So it seems like they're sort of up there, wherever they are, watching what just happened, and they could see things down onto like a celestial level, a metaphysical level. They could see our planet. They could see, things in the microcosm. And I'm still strapped to figure out what we actually saw. I feel like a kind of high from it, like a visual contact high from watching this episode. And I guess I feel like the giant created Laura Palmer. Maybe the Laura Palmer we see in the TV show. Again, this is just speculation. This is me theorizing now because I'm grasping at straws. I don't know where to go with this, guys. It just seems like, she's inserted into the Earth, 1945, or her idea, the thought, the concept of Laura Palmer is put into the Earth. And now, correct me if I'm wrong, but this orb just went in there, and then we go back to a couple years later, I guess, but it's again New Mexico, and a couple years after, about 11 years after, and we have that egg that hatches with like the sort of weird bug insect alien like thing that finds the little girl and just goes into her. Now I have a very, very vague feeling that little girl is related to Laura Palmer in some way. Could be wrong, of course, but I feel like there's sort of there's something there. There's something there. Things are leading up to where we are, and the whole Laura Palmer thing is way more than meets the eye than what it seems. It's more than just, a bunch of devilish characters taking over people and murdering them, and like a sort of a troubled youth. There's a bigger picture here, and that's what we found out in this episode. What we thought we knew, the world isn't that small. Even on Earth it's incredible. I really love what they're doing. This episode felt like Lynch got into a room by himself and created it, like just from beginning to end, he alone. I know that's not the truth, but the effects in this episode were incredible. Now, one of the other big points of this episode were the Woodsmen and the convenience store. Those scenes with the very, anxiety-inducing scenes in a good way. Just erratic scenes of these guys going in and out of the convenience store. It looked like they were having sort of a meeting, a congregation. They were going in and out. There was lightning and smoke, and we also see them in the past sort of ask, do you have a light? Can I have a light? Or whatever it was. And scaring people and sounding just horrible and looking hideous and scary. And then we have the one guy, crunching people's brains and reciting this sort of poem outside into the radio and having people faint. So what are these guys? I really don't know. They seem like pure chaos. They seem like pure evil. The Woodsmen we see in Fire Walk With Me are not the same as these guys. These guys are a lot darker, a lot scary. The ones we see in Fire Walk With Me are clean, and they just seem to be, fit. But these guys seem to be a lot more dangerous and erratic and evil, intentionally evil. Now I wonder if this is what led to Bob. I don't know. Maybe see the whole time thing is all screwed up, because you see them in the present ripping Bob out of the guts out of Bob, and then you see, I'm assuming to be the past, although past present time is irrelevant. Them doing the whole, seeing that scene, seeing Bob in that funnel thing, that tunnel coming from the ghoul's mouth. Which, what the hell is that? Is that an alien demon? I know alien demon is a thing in Twin Peaks. I feel like I'm going to have to reread the secret history of Twin Peaks, because I feel like there's something there that I'm not catching that sort of relates to it. And there might be some history I'm personally missing, but there was a lot that happened in this episode. A lot of new, terrors and ideas and, pieces added in this episode. Guys, I really want to know what you think about this episode. I feel like there was just a lot there, and I'm trying to digest it and spew it out to you guys in a form that kind of makes sense, and it hardly makes sense to me right now, and I'm sure a lot of you are going to be strapped to figure it out. Some people might have a little more insight than others. And so please share that in the comments. This is what we have for 2 weeks. They gave us this episode to deal with for 2 weeks. It feels intentional. Like, here, let's give them this. It'll hold them over for 2 weeks trying to figure it out. So that's what we're going to do. I know we're all going to go crazy and obsess over it. The Twin Peaks group is probably freaking out right now. So that's it, guys. For now, this video is running on almost 20 minutes, a little bit less. There's going to be very little to cut. So let me know what you thought of this episode. I know we have 2 weeks till the next one. So again, comment below. Let me know what you thought. I really want to know. If there's something I'm missing. Do you have any theories, ideas about anything that happened in this episode? What did you think of it? Did you not like this episode? Did you think that those scenes went on too long? Because I'm sure there's some people that just didn't really appreciate it, or thought it was sort of a cop-out or something. I could see both sides. But I personally love the visuals and the insanity of it all. So again, if you like this video, please like, comment. And I see you guys love the sort of the review videos and the sort of instant reaction videos. So if you guys like these videos, subscribe to my channel, because it lets me know that I'm doing a good job and you guys like seeing these videos, and then it allows me to make some more. So it's basically just like sort of a thumbs up. I know you could do thumbs up, but subscribing helps a lot more, and it's a better notifier for me that you guys enjoy these videos. So hopefully I can make another video before next week. We'll call this a part 1. Maybe I'll have, after watching it a couple more times, I'll have more of an idea of what's happening, and I'll make sort of a second theory video. But for now, I think this is where I'm going to leave it. Thank you guys for watching. This is insane. I absolutely love it. I feel crazy right now. I feel like a lunatic, but in a good way. So again, I shall see you guys very soon, and share your thoughts. See you later.